episode 19 of the greatest fur podcast in the world, Fur's greatest podcast in the world. Yay! We have lots of furries here. Cobalt the Dragon, Dubcub the Folf, Kairoo the Dragon Fox, Raven the Cat, Shock the Fox, Wayne the Cougar, and I am Khord Kitty. Welcome! Thank you for joining us on this, and hope you downloaded it because that's what makes a podcast. And let's get to our first introduction of the day, a former special guest, Cobalt the Dragon.
Hi, I am Cobalt the Dragon. If you do not know me yet, you probably do because I never shut up. But if you don't know me yet, I am a giant-ass dragon with a giant-ass mouth. So you're going to get a lot of talking from me.
Sounds great! Dubcub the Folf.
Yeah. I'm just your average hipster/scenester/douchebag that really nobody likes in my fandom.
So basically a cub.
No. Anything but. That's why I'm hated.
Well, we're going to turn that hate to love here, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
That was never love! No. Kairoo, tell us about yourself.
I'm just your fun-loving, always really happy and really adorable dancing dragon fox.
You're the two most sexually active characters in this fandom.
The most sexually active animal in the world is a mouse.
Yes.
Sorry, dragons, you guys aren't even close. Mainly because you're extinct. You don't even exist. All right.
Oh, shots fired. I see.
Boom, baby! And I am Khord Kitty. I am an actor kitty. I am going to be dancing about Anthrocon, but not on stage, just in the hall, from door to door, watching all of those panels. Oh, those
and in
fun,
the rooms
lovely
because
panels.
we're all setting up polls for him.
Totally.
I was about to say, and collecting 20s as he goes.
All right, and then we have Raven the Cat.
Hello, darlings.
Hurrah.
I go by Raven on Skype or Crystal Istacazzonepe. I am a jewelry designer. How I entered the fandom was meeting a furry in college. I am a fabulous red Persian feline from Kentucky.
Sounds wonderful. And then we have Shock the Fox.
Why, hello. I am a fursuit dancer, artist, and yeah, it's just here to have fun.
That was like the most anticlimactic. The fox.
Yeah.
It's like we have too many of these. Get out of here.
Yeah. I was thinking Shock the Monkey because that's a great song by Peter Gabriel, but I don't
Oh my god.
That sounds fucking dirty.
And we have our always clean mouth, family friendly Wayne the Cougar.
Fuck off.
There's the man.
Best intro. Welcome. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's going to be the quote for the rest of my life.
Now, let's get to our first topic. Let's get controversial. I've decided to choose the topic of Islamophobia. Whoa! So, the reason why I got this topic was I feel like it's not being discussed very much. There is a lot of stories of Muslims blowing up stuff, and could brew a lot of bigotry because people are associating moderate Muslims with extremist Muslims and not really making a differentiation because of just whatever, just how it is. And then there's like a big movement of, people who are like, no, you shouldn't be politically correct. There's no such thing as Islamophobia. It's just, crazy. You gotta whatever. But I don't know. It's a really fascinating issue to me because it's not being discussed for some really weird reason.
Because you're American and nobody's going to disagree with that.
America!
Thank you, man. I love you.
Yeah.
Coming again to save the motherfucking day. Yeah.
So, first off, don't say Islamophobia doesn't exist, because it does. Fearing something because you do not understand it is called a phobia. Yes.
But then there's a disagreement as to the understanding of Islam and how it associates with whatever the extremist stuff is. Like, there are people who are trying to be, I don't know if apologist is the right word, but what they're trying to do is say that no, there's absolutely no part of the, we could call it the Muslim Bible, the Quran, which encourages violence, and then there's others that say, no, there is, and then my point of view is like, okay, let's look at the Bible. You could take parts of that probably encourage violence, and we ignore that.
Okay,
I think it's everywhere.
It is everywhere. And you got to remember, the Quran was wrote partly during times of war, where Muhammad, who wrote the book, had to choose a side. So he chose the Muslim side. And that's why near the end, it's a little more, shall we say, out there.
Although, wait, you said that he chose the Muslims. You said Muhammad chose the Muslim side. Now,
Yes,
Are you
it was
saying
during-
that there was a Muslim side before the Quran? Like, which came first, the Quran or the Muslim religion?
Well, the Muslim religion had always really been there, but it was, oh man, I was talking about this because we had to take religion class in my school because it was a Catholic school. So we learned about all other religions. And I don't remember what the conflict was, but he had to choose a side, and he chose one side, and the Quran that which he was writing reflected that one side. And so, just as like you said, you could take any part of the Bible, big one, homosexuality, and say, oh, this is bad. Oh, we're fighting this because that's what the Bible says. Well, no, that's not what the Bible says. As a matter of fact, not one part of the Bible explicitly says homosexuality is wrong, just like not one part of the Quran specifically says killing everyone else that is not Muslim is right. Like, no sane person would ever think, oh, this says kill all Muslims because it says this, this, and this. No, you're twisting the words to mean something to you, which religion, that's it's going to happen whether you like it or not, because religion has to do with all belief. And your beliefs are reflected within your religion.
Now,
So
I wanted to make a little point.
Mhm.
The intent, like one of the big chief intents that Osama bin Laden had was he wanted to start religion wars. He wanted to start conflict between the religions. And in a way, I feel like he's won. I know it sounds depressing, but that's kind of what's going on right now. There's more conflict than ever, except it's more or less between one religion and a bunch of others. But also, this is a topic I'm kind of ignorant about too, so I'm trying to learn too.
Well, I mean, think about it this way. How many people can you go on the street and say, do you fear terrorists? A lot of people are going to say, yeah, we fear terrorists. So who's the real winner, the Americans or the terrorists?
And are we
They
going
still do fear.
to go with what like George W. said? He was like, no, you see, they aren't real Muslims. It's like, oh, okay.
No, they are. All extremist Christians, whether they like it or not, are Christians. All extremist Muslims, whether they like it or not, are Muslim. It's their interpretation of the book that they read.
Being more quiet on.
Islamophobia, homophobia, bigotry in general, it's all part of the human condition. You should just hear the shit I say about Quebec. I'm pretty bigoted myself.
We all say it, buddy. Don't worry.
Everyone beats on those separatist bastards.
Yeah, goddamn whiny frog bastards. You're not loving me, my pup, in the flank. You are a francophobe. Canada is a brand new country.
To all the Quebec people who probably listen to you, sorry. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. Leafs win.
Your point is bigotry will always be around, but as long as we're all equally bigoted towards everything, it will be okay, because that's true equality.
That is
I
true.
don't know.
But let's think.
What the fuck is equality anyways? Does it mean
it's
like...
communism?
If there was equality, we would have no government ruling everything.
Communism is bullshit, so I'm against equality.
Everyone has an equal vote for the right dictator.
Okay, in my opinion, like, the whole fear on terrorism thing and racism thing, I believe it's best said exactly how Morgan Freeman said it. Just stop talking about it. When you stop talking about it and stop, like, worrying about things, eventually they go away. Like the old saying, ignorance is bliss. It really is, because if you ignore things that you don't like, you'll be a happier person, because it will not affect you.
There you go. Thank you.
All right, well, that's one idea. If you ignore it, it'll go away. Just kind of like that little yipping puppy who wants a treat.
Well, no, it won't.
Yip, 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 yip.
It won't 100% go away, but it will decrease a lot.
Yeah.
Like, if it just stops getting broadcasted and whatnot. I mean, one of the main issues that, like, we have so much war going on is because we broadcast it on TV over here. And, you know, for them, if they get broadcasted on TV over here, they're like a celebrity. You know, they're doing what they were meant to do. They're getting noticed by the eyes of their enemy. And, you know, if that didn't happen, it would slow down a lot of the progress of this shit that's currently happening.
So you're saying bringing it up at all will make it worse?
Let's just keep it at this. If you can keep somebody in fear, you can win. You can dominate them. If you can keep somebody afraid of you, they will do whatever you say.
So that's maybe a better lesson. Be fearless and Islamophobia will disappear because you're not afraid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of things that won't hurt you, because, you know, being afraid of things that won't hurt you is kind of, it doesn't make any sense.
What
I
if
mean-
I'm afraid of diapers?
I'm afraid of starfish.
And you really shouldn't
That-
be talking to Captain Crinklebutt over there, should you?
Yeah, no.
This topic has brought up one thing that reminds me of. Does anyone here other than Cobalt know Russell Peters?
Yes.
He
Or
talks
Gabriel
about
Iglesias.
yeah, but this is more a Russell Peters comment. He talks about how the media portrays everything to
The
make
media
you
distorts
think.
everything.
So let's say they show first an Asian guy and then a car crash.
Yeah.
And then they show Islamic guy and a bomb going off. This puts images in your head that tries to connect them together all the time. Or 7-Eleven and East Indian.
Well, that's because it's been implanted in our brain that those are the go-to images. We associate those things with said cultures. And I'm going to be 100% honest here. I'm not trying to sound like a douchebag, but I know a lot of Asians and they cannot drive. My friend Jeff is a terrible driver. He admits it,
Canada.
and he's absolutely horrible. He's gone through at least 5 cars within a year. Why? Because he thinks he can play Tokyo Drift on the street, and it doesn't work out.
That
No.
sounds like
And-
most of Toronto.
That sounds like most of Ontario.
It doesn't.
Actually, North Bay's good.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Whatever.
just doesn't work out.
latest.
On the subject of dumbness, let's go to the topic of Dubcub the Folf, and that is dumbness.
Yes, one of the things that one of the
Okay,
things
then.
that should be decreasing during the technological age. As we age, we're supposed to get smarter, not stupider.
I don't know how to send a letter, so I'm going to send an email. I'm so it's a person.
Well, it's funny because
I don't think
Einstein. Go ahead.
I don't think that it's a topic of the society getting dumber. I think it's more the pure fact that we're getting lazier.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Einstein, I think, said it the best. The moment where technology surpasses our human interaction is the moment where we have a generation of idiots.
And that's exactly what's happening. I mean, as I said, the technological age is a wonderful thing. Like, I do nothing all day besides make music, play games, and,
Wear diapers.
designs. Okay, we'll get to that later. Design stuff on, Photoshop and Blender and whatnot. And because that's what I like to do. But as much as I love the computer, I hate it because every time I go on the internet, I can talk to like anybody in the world. Sometimes I engage in really intellectual conversations with people. And most of the time, I engage in conversations from retards from 4chan that are like, lil YOLO swag, you're such a faggot,
gosh.
420
Don't
blaze it.
mention 4chan. Don't mention the
Like,
4chan.
I absolutely hate media sites because I believe that they promote absolute stupidity.
Yeah.
Well, think about it this way. Those people have been here whether we know it or not. It's just that the internet has given them an outlet to express themselves.
Yes. And while the internet is a great thing, it is also a curse because we have to deal with those type of people on a daily basis.
And this kind of sounds like going back to one of our topics last podcast, which was trolls.
Yes.
But let's not bring that up because that got pretty.
Yeah, it got pretty heated. Like we did, shit went.
Yeah.
Now, like, you say trolls, in my opinion, there's a difference between, like, a troll and just, like, I don't know, again, some idiot from, like, a media site or something like that.
To
Like,
be
in my
honest-
opinion, a troll is somebody who picks apart your brain and uses it against you. That's what a troll, in my opinion, does. I mean, I have to admit, I do that to a lot of people that, like, I don't like in the fandom. Sadly, I
take
get
their words
great-
and twist them and use it against them.
sadly, I get great kicks out of making people in my fandom feel bad about themselves. But
So there we have. We have Soulful inside
that-
the podcast, infiltrating, trying to get the really good gruffs.
but that's because, like, there are things you just should do and tell people, and things you just
really
shouldn't do and not tell people. I mean,
Like
if you want to
wearing
do
diapers.
something, that's fine. You
So
don't need to tell people.
it sounds like you're blaming the victims of trolls for their own victimhood.
Well,
In some cases, yes.
Yes.
in some
Yes,
cases,
I do.
yeah.
And this goes back to the topic of dumbness. Some people will just say the most idiotic thing, and you can't help but call them out on
what
it.
the fuck
See,
are you
That's why
talking
they're called troll bait for a reason.
See,
Yeah.
They act stupid. They get somebody either like me or someone else that comes around and like, oh, I'm the fish. You just hook me, reel me in. We'll see how
Oh,
far
yeah,
this
pretty
goes.
So,
Mhm.
Jimmy, for me, this is my experience with I'd call them bad trolls. I think there's good trolls and bad trolls.
Oh yes.
The
Oh, there are.
good,
There
I'll talk
definitely
about
are.
good trolls, what they do is they say something which is truthful towards people who are afraid of the truth, and
Yeah.
then their reaction to it basically eggs on the good troll to say more truth.
Precisely.
But a
And-
bad troll. Just let me finish for a moment.
Okay, yes.
A bad troll. I had this experience. I was in a chat room and I was at an airport about to go on a plane, and there was this guy I didn't know, and they said, "I hope your plane crashes. I want to stab you."
Oh.
And then everyone just like they didn't want to kick him from the room. They're just like, "Oh, he's just trolling," and you're just encouraging him by reacting. And that kind of solidified for me what a bad troll was, and being able to
Yes.
identify what it was since then. It's as simple as just a bad person that says bad things.
That's
was
not a
interesting-
troll. That's just somebody that wants the world to burn.
That's just an
That's an
asshole.
asshole. That's what it is.
Cobalt and I,
The world
exact
to
same
burn.
thing.
But you know
But,
what? It's interesting you said 4chan at the beginning, because 4chan is a really strange website.
It
On
is.
one side, it has caused suicides, and I've seen it has caused suicides. I've seen it has caused suicides. But on the other side of it, 4chan, if you don't know, one of my friends was part of this. They cracked down on one of the biggest strings of child pornography in the United States. Like, they uncovered it, hacked into the systems, and gave it to the cops.
Huh.
Yes,
There's
I heard it's called the Ink Bunny.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No.
Well,
Those aren't. Those. That's not child pornography. That's just sad people who really don't have any idea what the hell they're doing with their life.
Jimmy or Dubcub, what do you want to say about that?
About the ink bunny thing, or
Yeah.
I'm a victim of that one, and I'm also a causer.
again, I firmly believe you can be into what you want to be into. Just don't tell anybody about it. And it goes to the point of, again, extremists. Like, enjoying something is okay. Enjoying it to the extreme is a bad thing. Extremists always take it too far. And that's what's the issue. The extremists. I mean, I know a lot of people that are into a lot of weird things. And, I'm still friends with them. I might not like it, but they don't,
they don't push it on you.
Yeah, they don't push their views on me. And they don't, do this, that, and the fourth, saying, well, for instance, racism, saying that they want to kill every single, race that they don't like. That's okay. You can say that if you want, but just if you act upon it, then you become an extremist, and that's not okay.
Yeah.
But
Not saying it's
in-
passive aggressive.
in the terms of trolling, yes, people just don't want to hear the truth anymore. They'd rather be told lies than to just be told the blunt truth, because it makes them feel better about themselves. Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure, let's put this in a personal experience. You do something, you fuck up. Somebody's like, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it, we'll fix it, blah, blah, blah. When really, in the back of your mind, well, shit, this is really bad, I'm gonna get yelled at, I shouldn't have did this was a stupid decision, and you don't get that reaction from them at all. When, because they wanted to save your feelings and make you feel better about what happened, instead of just, yeah, you fucked up,
But
deal with it.
Dubcub, you would agree that this sort of philosophy of seeing trolls as like these crusaders against dumb people, that has put you yourself in your personal life in deep water, right?
Well, yes, it has, because I've lost a lot of friends in the fandom, because, as I've been in the fandom, as years go by, I notice how much more stupidity goes on with it, and, I voice my opinion, and people don't like my opinion, I just tell the blunt truth, they don't like it, and, they make me out to be, like, the worst thing in the entire world, like the Cthulhu of douchebags or something.
Although, in sharp contrast, and we talk about when Wayne was a first guest, he says the blunt truth. Although it sounds hilarious and funny, and I want to put him on stage for it, but it's so different. Like, some people's blunt truth is just it's comedy gold, and some of it could come off as bullying.
Yes, it's all about how you put it. Really, I mean. There's sugarcoating the truth, and then there's just being completely 100% honest. Like,
There's pussy.
I hate to say, and it's probably because, well, I'm a pussy. Look at my persona. I sugarcoat the hell out of my opinions, but it's it has to do with tact and how much tact you put in. Like, the less tact you put into, the more, anger and whatever grief that you get from the lesser sensitive furries or the more sensitive furries of the fandom. So what I do is, again, I sugarcoat a lot and I put a lot of tact in there, although, it's a pussy thing. What can I say? Kitty cat. Meow.
I'll take. I agree completely with what you're saying, Dubby. I mean, I'm going to call you Dubby because that just it's so
Yeah.
Double whoop whoop.
That's actually what people call me.
It's adorable. You're adorable. Anyway, I completely agree with what you're saying. Me as a person, I'm probably even as shocked. I don't bullshit whatsoever. I don't pussyfoot around it. Sorry, Mr. Khord Kitty, who I just realized had a vagina.
Well, the thing is, I hope we're not offending Raven, because Raven's also a kitty cat, but I'm really curious what Raven has to say about, basically telling the truth without tact or with tact and how it affects people.
If you're going to tell somebody the truth with tact, it's not so much sugarcoating it, it's just telling them in a way that they can point blank understand without sounding standoffish, or they take it in the wrong way.
Right.
This is an exercise in my daily life with the vast number of people that I deal with. Now, if you're going to just tell somebody the truth and not have any tact, then basically you get the beatdown that you deserve, verbally, I would hope, more than physically.
No, but that's totally true. I mean, there's, be blunt, but there's a way to say it. You don't just be like, oh, you did this, you're an idiot. No. You say it like it's constructive criticism, not like you're trying to put the guy down or girl or whoever you're talking to.
It's better to learn the easy way, but most people don't learn that way, and they always take the hard way alternative. And when you do that, things don't become so nice, but you learn from that. Yeah. I mean,
or
equate it to when you were in school and you got bad grades and you would come home and, if you had a mother or father figure, or if you had both, one of them wanted you to get good grades, and they punished you and they took away all your things. And then, the other one came home and said, well, it's okay, next time, blah, blah, blah. And they sugarcoated it, and then they gave back everything. You didn't learn anything from that whatsoever. Nothing at all. I mean, you might have, but you'll forget about it later on, and you'll do the same mistake.
Well, we as people, or as human beings, attain our memories to an emotion. So we learn because we do not want to feel sad. We want to feel basically neutral. So the reason why we always learn the hard way, scientifically, because science is because we do not, as people, we want to feel like we belong and that everyone is comfortable with us. And when somebody's upset at us, we don't feel comfortable. So we take that as, okay, I'm not doing that again, or okay, this is not going to happen. On the alternative, okay, I can do this again, or okay, this can happen. It all has to do with an emotion. And unfortunately, all the bad stuff and all the learning happens because you don't like the outcome. So
exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Can I just say that I love your voice? It's absolutely adorable, and I just want to give you a big hug.
Which voice? Wayne?
Well, thank you.
Dubby.
Aw, I like Wayne's voice more.
Yeah, Wayne has an awesome voice, too.
Let's see, Wayne, I want you to have the final word on the topic dumbness.
I think I'm pretty dumb.
There we go. All right.
Intelligence in its best form, knowing when you know nothing.
And now let's, on the subject of intelligence, the intelligent thing to do would be to lend a helping paw to those who need it. So, Raven, let's talk about your topic, lending helping paw.
Well, let's see. I can take this in one of two different ways. I can talk about my experiences as I had before as a handler, or I can talk about FALAH, which is a group that I've modeled for about 3 years.
You should first talk about your accent.
Yes, because it's beautiful.
Exactly where it's from. Exactly. Oh. Or else everyone's going to be, distracted.
Address and everything, honey, because I need to hear you.
Oh, God. I am a Kentucky fur. I do not have a Kentucky accent. So I have an accent that I best explain as military brat. I have no home accent. I'm just from everywhere, and everywhere is from me.
It sounds like the My Fair Lady accent at the end of the movie.
Yes.
Like some kind of British.
Hey, you sound very upper class Southerner from back when black people still picked cotton.
I have an accent where I'm basically a military brat. So I have an accent from everywhere, and everywhere is a little bit of me. So I have the most in Kentucky of Kentucky accents, and as the previous comment was made earlier, I do sound like I'm on an upper class type of social fur, because that's part of me that I integrated into my persona. But anyway, one of the things that I wanted to talk about today was lending a helping tool, and one of the things that I know the most about is being able to help others, because that's just been my personal mission throughout the fandom. I do it as a handler in and out of conventions. I do it as being a mod of FALH, essentially FA Lends a Hand, which is a group that helps furries that are in financial needs. And I just do it by talking to my friends, associates, random strangers that are just having a very bad day, because I want to help people.
Now, do you think you'll go into philanthropy in the future? That's like a more expensive way of helping people. Just about every con I've heard of, they do some sort of contribution to some charity somewhere. I'm not exactly sure how they choose which one, but yeah. Good furs helping others, yay!
Yay! I find that really, really cool. I mean, I would love to end up helping stuff like that, but I mean, I think the biggest thing about a lot of furs is that they, besides the personal level, like me talking to you on Skype, there's no way that we really know that we can do it on a grander scale. Do you have any idea how many, like, where you can go, like, if you want to do something like what you're doing?
If I wanted to do something like I'm doing, I just do what I've been doing and just network with other people and other projects that are going on. Like, TK has his group, helping out with the Red Cross and doing charity fundraisers every year. There are groups like High 4, which is a group of fursuiters that are just there to entertain the public, and they just want to make kids smile. And this is just a side of the fandom that doesn't seem to get a lot of attention, because everybody's...
Penis.
So that, or this is just not something that's going to essentially grab the ratings like some of the more sensationalism topics can.
So, Raven, are you the Angelina Jolie of the fandom?
I have to...
No, I'm pretty sure she doesn't have 20 kids in her house.
Oh, no. No.
Yes.
I'm not Angelina Jolie, but I know that there have been some homeless furs that I have run into, and I've done my best to figure out what their needs are and to connect them with the right resources so they can find, at least somewhere to sleep that night.
Yes. And, yeah, I mean, my experience with homeless furs is they would be like, let me live with you, just please, I want to live in your living room for free for as long as possible, please.
Okay, this is something I have to say just off the top of my head to anybody who is listening to this. If you are homeless for any reason, whether you lost your job or you have a deadbeat roommate or whatever, there are resources out for you. But seriously, if you're going to be homeless because you have not paid a dime towards rent and utilities of your roommates for 4+ months, I'm wondering, why are you still living with them?
Yeah.
You're acting like a deadbeat. Stop that.
It's a level of responsibility on top of it. Like, you can't be homeless because you just don't want to pay. That's stupid.
I'm trying to get a job so that I can help my family pay the fucking bills.
No, that I'll agree with. Like, if you're having trouble finding a job, because let's be honest, nobody's been finding a job recently, especially in Canada, because for some reason they're not hiring right now. No idea why.
I don't know where you're looking.
I'm the most sympathetic towards people looking for a job that you could probably ever run into in this community. I do understand that looking for a job is a job in itself, and if you don't have the resources to go job hunting, and we're not talking about 1950s where all you're doing is driving around and looking for a help wanted sign in a store window. That yes, you have to have access to some kind of public or private transportation. Yes, you have to be able to get to and from that job. Yes, you have to be able to apply, and yes, you have to actually know that jobs exist to you locally or globally. And yes, you have to have references and such. But it doesn't mean that you can whine, bitch, moan, complain, grex and groan to me that, hey, you haven't had a job when you've been sitting and flattening your behind for about 6 months.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're trying to get any kind of sympathy from anybody for looking for a job, and there's plenty of it out there. Maybe sympathy is not the right word, but if you're going to get any kind of respect, that would be the more accurate word. You have to put yourself out there and at least be trying. And if you're trying and you just can't find it, find something else to do to earn an income, even if it's just doing like $1 doodles.
There's this one creative thing that people outside my apartment do. What they do is they go to the Salvation Army, they buy stuff, and then they resell it for a higher price.
Huh.
I was trying to look for a toaster, and then and I was like, I'm looking for, I don't like that toaster. Hey, how about that toaster? And it's a toaster that they forgot to put on the table. It was still in the truck behind them. I looked really closely, and I saw on the tag it said $6, and I was like, how much is it? They ripped the tag off as soon as they can. They said, it's $30.
Lol.
And I was like, oh, I get it. But hey, I mean, while it's scummy, it's a damn good idea. Why doesn't everyone do it?
Hey, you know what? Beggars can't be choosers, unfortunately.
Especially with today's economy.
Those kinds of activities. I do understand if people have just excess stuff they're trying to sell. Yeah, they want to get something for it. If they got the price that they paid for it brand new, that's wonderful. But if it's most obviously used or secondhand or whatnot, you're not going to get top dollar, and you can't expect somebody else to pay top dollar for it. That's just not how the world works.
You lose a third of
If I ever go homeless, if I ever go homeless, I'm gonna go out in the fucking woods and I'm gonna eat people.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna be cannibalistic hermit.
Delicious.
You're going to be Hannibal.
Hannibal the hermit cannibal.
Yes.
I have no clue where this conversation is going, so let's go to the new topic, and that is the E3 2014 hits and misses.
Yes. So E3 is the largest gaming convention in the world. It's held in
California.
Los Angeles. And basically, the largest companies, Microsoft, Sony, they all get together there. They have big briefings on, this is what we're going to do this year in gaming. And please buy our games, not theirs. Basically that.
That's how it works. Unless you're Nintendo, don't give a shit.
Yeah. Anyways, while I was paying attention to this, I noticed a few games that were... had the big hype, and then they showed gameplay, and I was like,
okay then.
Big example of that, the new Call of Duty.
Every Call of Duty
Advanced
ever
Warfare.
since the 5th one.
No, seriously, I liked the games up to Ghosts. I've owned every Call of Duty game at one point or another. I liked up to Ghosts. This new game has completely killed the series for me. I was watching gameplay of it earlier. But anyways, PlayStation has come out with a few games for their new system, PlayStation 4. Mm-hmm. And I guess Cobalt will have a bigger opinion on this because I don't have a PlayStation 4. But
well,
let's see. The Last of Us Remastered. In my opinion, that's going to be a hit.
Oh yes.
I'd never played the original, but I have seen videos.
You're missing out on life. Okay. Let me go into PlayStation 4 for 2 seconds. Overall, I think last year was better, but this year was not that bad. I'm not gonna lie. Just because, PlayStation 3 had a lot of games coming out for it at the time. The 2 games that I'm really, really, really looking forward to are the new God of War.
I played a bit of the beginning bits of God of War 3.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one. The second one's always been my favorite. But I know this is really a topic that is for the select few, and that select few is gamers, and so far the only gamers I really know of is Shock and I.
Well, then again, I am playing Peggle. Oh boy, look at that ball drop.
Which is releasing on Xbox.
I've been playing lots of Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead lately.
Oh yeah. But I mean, there's also the one game that I'm really, really looking forward to, and that won the E3 award, is Destiny.
Yeah.
That game. I have the biggest poster you can possibly find of that game in my room. It is absolutely fantastic.
Okay, here. Best name for a game ever. This is for Xbox One, and it is not for PlayStation 4.
Oh, excuse me.
Super Ultra Dead Rising 3 Arcade Remix Hyper Edition. What? That is the name of the game.
Bless you.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
I know, right? Forza Horizon 2. They're moving Grand Theft Auto 5 to next gen. There's nothing they can do with that.
I'm sorry, but Grand Theft Auto 5. I know people like it, but just
what's another miss? Let's just go into Nintendo.
Okay, 90% of Nintendo was a hit. I'm sorry.
Another Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, but you know what? This
Mario versus Donkey Kong.
Yeah, that one was weird. It wasn't a miss, but it was weird.
Pokemon Art Academy.
That one was interesting.
Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
That's a funny name.
Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. Okay, I might get that because I love Kirby.
Yeah, Kirby.
Mario Party 10.
Yeah, I mean, I love Mario Party, but guys, you're running out of ideas.
Hits and misses for PC.
Nothing misses for PC. Everything is good on PC.
Hit Grand Theft Auto 5 moving to PC.
Yeah.
Miss The Sims 4 because The Sims is dumb.
The Sims is trash. People still play that.
Oh my god, The Sims. No, you know what? I would buy it and play it just for the glitches.
One thing. Has anyone here played the Rainbow Six series?
Yes.
There's a new Rainbow Six coming out called Rainbow Six Siege. Siege.
Oh, Clancy, I love you.
See, even he's so special. Even when he's dead,
he's making great games. Like honestly.
But yeah. Anyone into racing?
Oh, I love racing.
I am.
Forza Horizon 2?
Ew, no.
They need to make it for PC.
They need to make a multi-platform racer that you can integrate with all racers.
Yeah.
Racing games are the only games that you can really go multi-platform with and not have a bias.
You really want to know that's what they need to make. Is just they need to make some games that are cross-platform. Like I know Xbox. I was just watching some of the highlights from E3 for Xbox, and one of them it was called Happy Wars. It is cross-platform, but it is only cross-platform between Xbox 360 and Xbox One.
Oh,
hey, one step at a time, man.
Yeah. But yeah, in my opinion, I don't think anyone really won this year at PlayStation. Yeah, there were a few good hits from both, but I think there's more misses than anything. I think gaming companies are finally running out of ideas, and they're trying to go back on old ideas or steal from others to make their games better. I keep on saying this because I keep on going back to the Call of Duty because it is absolutely horrible. It looks like they tried to mix like Battlefield, Titanfall, and Halo. I'm going to end this off with one more game that I believe everyone knows, and I actually do want everyone's opinion on this. Halo 5 Guardians.
No.
If it's not for PC, I don't care.
I actually believe it is for PC.
If it's for PC, then I'm pretty happy.
I'm sorry. Halo is like Call of Duty, dude. After the third one, just stop.
In my opinion, Halo is the ultimate MLG competitive game. Like, it always has been, and it always will. There are so many things you can do in that game that just make it a game that's not like any other.
Yeah, I know.
Like, in Halo 2, I love the fact that you could double shot with a battle rifle. Or even quad shot. You could double shot with the sniper. You could just do so many things. And only really good players knew about it and could utilize it.
The problem is, and the video game industry has the same problem as the movie industry, but the creative types that really make things, they're getting further and further away from having complete freedom of making the perfect game. And the real people who are deciding are the executives that have no talent in creating anything. And what they're doing is they're copying the creative stuff of the past and creating nothing. And that's the real problem. So the hope in gaming is the same hope in good movies. Independent gross.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the
that's
reasons...
why a lot of indie games like Journey's the first game to win a freaking Grammy. The first video game ever to win a Grammy for soundtrack. That's how good it was. It's indie games that are going to be the future, just like indie movies are the future.
Furry kids, Cobalt, what the heck are you talking about? Should I be hiding any future kids I have from you? Are you really a babysitter I can trust, especially if they have a Think Funny account?
Well,
We're talking about our four-legged friends that we actually treat as kids.
no. I'm actually talking about, Dubby butt kids.
Oh, me.
God.
Okay.
Fur kids. Like, basically,
Fur kids?
if you've ever been on FA and you see like, hey, look, I have this fur family, and that's like dad, mom, uncle, sister, brother, freaking twice removed cousin, whatever the hell. You'll see that they have, a furry family. And I have a furry family. I have 2 kids, and I kind of need to give a shout out to them because they're the sweetest things in the fucking world. I don't care what anyone says.
Who, in my opinion, I think they're older than them.
Yes, one of them is older than me, and it's really cute. And he's so adorable. He's like the cutest thing in the world. But my two kids, their name is Gur, who is a colorblind, adorable coon that will never admit that he's adorable. And the other one is Stitchy, who is a blue and white wolf who is 2 years old. And if you stick a mirror in front of him, he'll look at it for 20 seconds, turn around and ask you, why are there two of me? He's so cute. They're both so adorable.
I have a furry family that I've been kind of playing with for a year. I have a younger brother, Aries. I have a older sister, Moxie. I have a daddy figure. His name is Car. I sent him a Happy Father's Day through Twitter. On
Car
Father's
Werskunk?
Day. Car Werskunk, yes.
Oh yeah, vroom vroom. I love that guy.
I know, he's so
It's a cute one.
and I have an older brother, Kivu Otter. So yeah, I love them. And at first it was just kind of a joke, and then now I'm kind of like, yeah, I kind of enjoy this. Kind of like having a fur family.
This whole furry family thing actually disturbs me a bit. Here's the reason why. It seems to scream out, yes, my own family in my own life was not enough to fulfill whatever needs that a family is supposed to fill, so I go to the furry fandom to make up for what I lacked at home. And for me, it sounds really depressing. And it especially just gets more disturbing when every single damn family I keep hearing about is doing some sort of sexual incestual RP over and over again. That's all I hear. Every damn family I've heard of. And it disturbs me. Like, it disturbs me a lot that not only are they so just gladly exposing, yes, my family did not have enough support, but that they're into weird sexual fetishes that are, associated with abuse. And it scares me a little bit. That's what I think furry family.
And with kind of on that note, I also think that some of them, like you said, are that her family wasn't fulfilling enough for them, but I can kind of vouch for families just because you never know. Maybe they weren't accepted in their family. Yes, they may not accept you as your family, but they're your family. I kind of see it as more of an attention grabber more than anything else.
So let's go to the very, 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 very last part of the episode, and that is the interview with the special guest. And our special guest is, quite a special guest, Kairoo!
Special!
Our special Kairoo! And let's see. So I first met you. So what happened was, I had this horrible experience where I recorded every single Anthrocon dance, and I did it the best I could, and I didn't record them in HD, and because of that, nobody wants to see that. They go straight to the HD videos of the dances, and they don't watch any of the non-HD ones, so all my angles, every damn angle I had with every fursuiter, totally lost 100 views after a year. Screw that. Completely. So I learned that hey, HD is good. So when I went to Fur Fright, this was the very last Fur Fright ever, and I didn't know that, but
no one knew it. Well, except maybe
no one did. Nope.
So the very last Fur Fright, they had a dance competition, so not a lot of other people doing videos for it, so it was more likely that people would look at my videos, and I was like, okay, this is HD. But what I ended up doing was I was the first furry to put up the Fur Fright dance competition videos in HD, so it got a lot of views, which is good, and I realized, you know what, the last time I posted up these videos, I didn't really think to send them to the people who made them. So I did a bit of research, and I was like, oh, okay, so Kairoo, and I sent out all the videos, and then I was like, and then everyone was like, oh, thank you, and they gave me watches. I was like, oh, this is sweet, just because I made a video of it. I don't even know. I'm like, you know what? I want to be friends with these people. So I sent out a few messages saying, you know what? Hey, you want to be Skype pals? Whatever. And there we go. That's how I met Kairoo.
Yay!
If you can't tell, I'm changing his pronunciation every single time I'm saying his name. It
was such a beautiful love story.
They're getting married.
I'm gonna write you a love
We're
song.
gonna have 12 kids.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
so
Khord has the vagina, which I just found out. He's going to be the one that's getting pregnant.
Well, just look at my submissions. There you go. So Kairoo, tell us the start of your journey into the furries and eventually the furry dance competition?
I actually am a 7-year self-taught dancer. And by what I do is, I've looked up videos on dancing and stuff. The reason I got into it is back in, I believe it was late 2005, early 2006, back when I was in 6th grade and a youngin', back when I didn't have any friends and I was one of those loners.
Are you 19?
I will be 20 in July. Back in 6th grade, so I tried to be like really social, and I went to one of these after school things, and I don't remember what it was for, but they had this dance competition, and I was like, oh, okay. And what it was is they got all the kids into a big group, and they played music, and everyone danced to it, and the teachers picked out who sucked, and then they finally picked the winner. And I was like, oh, I'll just do this because I'm bored as hell, so I'll try it. And I watched a lot of cartoons as a kid, because who didn't? So I just pulled everything that I saw in cartoons and just did it. And I ended up winning that dance competition, amazingly. I was like, what? Okay.
Why?
I don't know. Apparently my memory for cartoon dancing and doing it was a lot better than whatever all the other kids were doing. There was like 20 or 30 kids.
While you're doing it, you were like, oh, hey, I won. Wait, what? Why?
Yeah, I was like, why? I've never back in 6th grade I had no past experience with dancing, nor did I even realize I could. So then a year later I went to the same event, they had the same dance competition, I entered it again, and that time I ended up failing it, and I ended up doing it really embarrassingly because I tried to do this one really crazy dance during a slow song and I looked really embarrassing. So it was at that point I was like, okay, I'm never going to get embarrassed by dancing again. So I was like, I'll just learn a few regular dance steps. And I ended up loving it so much that 7 years later, here I am. Back in 2009, I ended up finding the fandom through that really old and crappy game Gaia online. Because this one guy was all dressed up in all the wolf stuff. And I was like, oh, I want that shit. And so I went to his profile and there was a link to FA and I walked around and I was like, oh, this is cool. I like this. And that's the basic, the really rough cut black and white basic of how I joined the fandom. And later on, I ended up wanting a fursuit and looking at how to get one. And then I ended up running into this one guy, Mangusu, who did all this fursuit dancing on stage. And I was like, oh my god, that's awesome! And I was like, okay, I love to dance now, I love to entertain people, I like the fursuit idea, I love this fandom, oh my god, it's beautifully perfect. And I loved his dancing so much. Even Kairoo, the name Kairoo, I've always joked, is a birth name between me and FA, because I've always liked the name Kai. And Kai was taken, and back then I thought you had to have an original name. Boy, was I wrong. I was like, okay, I'll just throw in random words at the end until I get something, and I ended up coming up with Kairoo. And I was like, oh, okay, that works. But yeah, and then, so I ended up dancing. I've now been in 3 music videos. The AC 2013 Rooftop Dance, the Duke's AC 13 video, and a third one that a friend and I did at 2 a.m. that I choreographed really badly.
I've seen the AC-13. Now I know where I've seen you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I've been in one dance competition at Fur Fight 13, as Khord has said.
Uh-huh.
And I've been trying to get better, especially ever since I got to meet all the other dancer furs back at Fur Fight. They taught me a few things, and I've been trying to perfect them so I can hopefully jaw drop them at AC this year. I don't know. I've been putting a lot of practice into my tutting, my waving, my control. I'm even tutting right now as I talk to you guys. Because it's by now it's not even thinking, it's just such a calming thing for me to do. But
that's really cool, man. I mean, I don't know if you know, but Shock here is also one of those fursuit dancers, and last time I checked, I think he's also going into the Anthrocon.
So this means that we have 2 competitors with each other about to fight head to head.
It's like Portugal and Italy.
To the death.
Yes.
First, I'll be in the AC-14 dance competition. I'll be in the AC-14 Floor Wars with Car Ware Skunk. And it's not really the dance competition itself that I'm worried about. It's the preliminaries that I'm really worried about. Yeah. Because I've heard about those, and they sound scary.
Well, Shock, do you have any idea on those?
About preliminaries?
Yeah.
They're hell. I'm kidding. They're not that bad. Like, especially now with AC this year being 2 different divisions with the rookie and the veteran division. Last year was just 1, and we had 40 something people come out to preliminaries, and there's only 20 spots. So it was 1 in every 2 people are getting eliminated. So there was huge competition. But this year with the new format, I hope more people get in. In my opinion, though, I will have to say, Kairoo, are you going into the rookie division?
Probably the rookie division, because I'm not amazingly good.
First thing I have to say is hurry up and sign up, because the sign-ups will be closing soon.
Already did.
Okay, and this second one is, I think the rookie division is going to have more than the veteran.
Yeah,
just because the way they described it on the site, they're like, oh, you shouldn't sign up for veteran unless you've been in like top 3 or 1 dance comps.
But you know what it is? I'm kind of afraid for the dance competition because I feel like everyone's going to go into a rookie because, like, I don't know if I'm good enough or not. So I have a feeling that what they're going to do is that the people who are really, 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 really good, they're going to take them from the rookies and put them into the veterans and then see how they do.
That would make sense. I overheard, I don't remember who it was, but there was one person who like went to a damn competition and got one of the top 3, but ended up going with the rookie division anyway because he really wasn't sure of himself.
Yeah.
So,
like,
and at the same time, AC is like a whole nother level.
Yeah, that's the biggest convention.
Their idea to keep a rookie and an expert was a good idea, but then people don't. I'm sure. So, but if they do what I think it was Cobalt said, that they take people who are really good who entered the rookie and put them into the other division, then maybe it'll work.
Yeah,
that's all balancing that has to be the issue, but. Good luck to both of you guys, and I'm definitely going to be rooting for both of you now.
But yeah, for me personally, I would kind of a little too afraid to jump into the fursuit dance thing until I know what my fursuit feels like, so I'll know whether it's something that I really want to try to dance in. I've been in a full fursuit once. It was kind of falling apart. It was a weird fursuit. It wasn't standard at all.
That yellow dog?
Yeah, I was the Sunny Puppy. Or if anyone wants to see me, if you go to the Anthrocon 2013, the big picture, I'm on the 3rd row on the very right side.
You see his head poking. I was like, harder.
Oh my god, are they having another one of those this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There was exactly 1,300 last.
I know, that was weird.
Well, it was all thanks to me. I noticed it was. I counted everyone. I was like, you know what? Time to make it even.
Yeah, baby.
Totally.
OCD.
So,
that was cute.
Yeah. So I decided I don't want to do it yet, but I might do it next year. It's like my exposure to dance has been in a lot of musicals and what would happen is I'd be like, okay, I love to sing, I love to act, and oh gosh, I got to do the dancing part. Well, I guess
Triple threat, baby. Let's go. Come on.
It's like, I wish it was just like, Sweeney Todd, where you just sort of stand and sing, but you can't really do it with a...
I loved that movie.
I just saw the original Broadway cast like 2 nights ago on YouTube. I was like, oh, I get it. So
I have a big thing for dramatic tragedies.
One thing not a lot of people know, they cut out a song at the very beginning of the movie. Like, there is a song that starts like, I tell the tale of Sweeney Todd, his something to his eye was odd. He shaved the faces of gentlemen who never afterward of again. And they cut that out. They took out all the words in the movie, and they just played them instrumental.
Yes, which was interesting. I have no idea why they would do that.
I'm at a
Cool.
plate.
All right. So you talked about your journey into dance. You talked about how you found out about the dance competitions and getting into it. But what about your future?
I want to get really good at dancing. Like, I'm hoping I get to a point where I can win a dance competition. I'm like trying. I practice in 2 ways. I practice either physically when I have time, or most of the time it's mental practice. And what that is I'll listen to music, and I'm so good at it now that I can imagine where I need to move for certain beats, like where my arms compared to my feet are, how balanced I would be, how fast I need to move, and that's basically how I've been practicing the dance I'm doing for AC this year. I mean, I've been putting in a little bit of physical stuff, and I've been re-editing it for months, and there's some stuff I actually have to practice because I've never done it before. There's a little insight to what's happening. I'm doing this one sliding motion where I have to balance on one leg and slide, and I'm like, ugh. It's hard.
Oh boy, we got our own exclusive spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
That's assuming you make it past the preliminaries, but I think you can do it.
Yeah, I know I can. I've been bitch ass practicing for this like a motherfucker. So I hope to get really good. Fun fact, I'm currently working 3 jobs, because I hate working, so that I can get enough money to not care about working and actually put more time into my dance and into practicing and get better and entertain more people, because that's more what I'm about. I'm more entertaining than customer bloody service. I've always considered this too in like the very, very far future when I'm like 30 or something. I want to own like a dance club of some sort.
Either you could have a dance club, a dance studio. There's lots of ways to go about it, but that's great.
Like
Great!
like a place that's a cafe and bar and like dancing and stuff. I don't know. I'll have it figured out. I'd make a reference, but I doubt any of you have played the game before.
So, and how do you, and I've asked this to all the other fursuit dancers, how do you make your mix? Because that doesn't sound very easy.
How do I make my mix? What do you
Your music mix, yes.
Well, I actually don't. I've tried to mix my own music, and I really suck at it.
So
Mainly because I use cheap things because I don't want to go out and buy anything, and my internet is too laggy to torrent anything.
So in other words, you have a hired gun do it for you.
No, like, okay, at FF13, I used a simple Gaga song. This year, I have this one friend who mixes music, and I asked him, hey, if any of your music could be danced to, because I love his music, like, if any of your music could be danced to at a dance competition, which one would it be? And he goes, and he picked one, and I listened to it, and I'm like, oh my god, I can do this.
Kairoo, that's great. I have your past, present, and future. Now, but do you have any inspirational words to, and I know you're not to the pro level yet, but there's still a lot of fursuit dancers that are, they haven't gotten the nerve to get on stage yet. Like, what inspirational words do you have for them?
Well, first off, a few tips on to things to prepare yourself, because I've learned these, is first off, something I have to get before AC is knee pads. Because I'm really surprised I haven't broken my legs yet from what I've done. I mean, at ESG, I did this thing where I fell on my knees on this concrete floor. So amazing. So knee pads are a must. Plus, I'm ruining the hell out of my knees on my suit. But the drink water, that regular thing. And remember that you are very limited in your dances with your suit because you have the big head. That's my main thing. And then the arms can't go everywhere because of it. I mean, you're in your fursuit. That's what they're gonna see. So there is really no need to be embarrassed. At the same time, I've always looked upon it like this. If you go and you dance and you think that if you mess up, you're gonna be embarrassed, well, if you mess up with a fursuit, it's probably gonna look cute. And at the same time, if you go up and you just stand there, then that's going to be really embarrassing. I mean, if you get stage shock and can't move, then that's going to look bad. I mean, so if you have stage fright and you don't want to look bad, then go and just force yourself to dance if you have to.
Nike.
That's very relevant advice to when I'm handling suitors as well. You can have the most expensive suit in the entire world if you wanted to, but if you don't know how to, act, emote, and basically just make the character come to life, what's really the point of being in suit?
A perfect example too is I've watched a lot of other furries, both in dancing and both in when they walk around cons, and I've learned a lot. Some of the people I've learned from, again, Mangusu. Telephone, again, is a big person because she really is animated. She does all this stuff to where she brings her character to life to where it's really there.
That is Telephone's claim to fame. And I've had the fortune of meeting Telephone in and out of suit and asking her a couple of questions about how she does what she does.
She's a total sweetheart.
Yeah, she is.
I don't know. The thing is, when people are really, really popular, it's I feel like they're probably getting oversaturated with a fan base. So what I try to do is I don't want to intrude in that sort of circle, because it's probably really distracting,
Mm-hmm.
She, I believe I overheard something about her not liking the fact that she became famous because of all the attention she gets.
I mean, it's a gift and a curse, It
really is.
The curse with being popular is that everyone's eyes are on you.
Yeah, and I just care to go up there and entertain and make people because not a lot of people are brave enough to go up on stage. Not a lot of people can do the things that I do. I mean, everyone can dance in their own little way, but some people just can't really fully bring out everything. Right.
Yeah.
So I go up there and I go up there just to entertain, just to make people go wow, and remember and holy shit.
Yeah.
I don't know how to put it into exact words, but hopefully.
You go out there to have fun and just do it.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
And if it makes some people smile along the way, even better.
You're in a fursuit. That's kind of a given.
Yeah, if you're having fun, they're having fun.
There you go.
All right, well, thank you, Kairoo. Thank you, everyone, for joining. That is Cobalt, Dubcub, Kairoo, Raven, Shock, and Wayne. Thank you all again. This was a wonderful episode, and I hope to see you in 2 weeks when we record our 20th episode.
Yay!
Yay!
Right. And
Oh, this episode is as old as I am. That's crazy. It's nice.
Same here.
Wowza. All right, thank you again, and see you all later.
Ciao.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.